In this video, we'll demonstrate how to install the new electronic sunshade for your Tesla Model Y. First, what you want to do is open up the rear left trim behind your taillight. Pull out and unplug the wires to your 12-volt, connect it to the electronic sunshade harness. And this is the gray clip. And once you have that connected, you will be testing out the sunshade to make sure there's power coming out this outlet. So you can see there, the trim, you just pop this open to the right, and this is from the rear left of the vehicle. Once you pop that open, you unplug the gray connector and then install and plug in the harness. This wire will run across the trim there underneath the rear headrest. So go ahead and plug in the smaller connector to the actual electronic sunshade. And now you will be testing the sunshade to make sure there's power coming through those wires and that the 12-volt outlet is working properly. This is a new sunshade. It has better insulation and new switches as well as better fabric. Everything else works the same. The motor is quieter. So how to install this? The best way is to fold the rear seats down, all the way down, and you will be loading this from the back of the tailgate. So go ahead and place the front of the sunshade in, and this is where the motor sits on the rear, so you can't mess this up. Rest the front of the sunshade on top of the headrest of the front seats. If you have two people, the installation will be a lot easier, but one person install will work as well. You want to have some painter's tape, or if you don't have painter's tape, any other tape is fine. Just protect the front headliner in case if you do push the electronic sunshade accidentally into the headliner, you don't scratch it. You want to align the front of the sunshade and then have it rest on the headrest while you run through the rear headliner. And you just pull it down and run the wires through. You can use a fishing wire if you have one. If not, you just run it through and pull it on the other side out. And this will allow you to go ahead and push the rear of the electronic sunshade in first. Then now you line up the screw in the front seats. And the front seats have two screws, one on each corner. And you want to align it before you put the screw in. And it's a Phillips screwdriver that you can tighten this up. So you want to do this on both sides. Again, you want to align it with the actual clip between the glass and the head trim and the headliner. And it's very easy to install. This should take you no more than 30 minutes alone, and definitely less than 20 minutes with two people. So again, on each corner, use a Phillips screwdriver and hand tighten it. Don't use an impactor. You don't want to overstrip this. And that is the whole install. So once you have these screws tightened up, it does come with a mesh to cover up the screw. So we'll do that later on. So taking off the painter's tape, and now your electronic sunshade is fully installed. The final piece is to re-plug in that small clip and hide this away between the rubber seal and also the rear headliner trim. You just want to line it in between. You don't need to zip tie this, and it sits in there flush between the headliner and the rubber weather strip. So take your time with this. Make sure you have clean hands, or if you don't, put some gloves on to make sure you don't dirty off the trim. And once you're done, go ahead, put all the trim back, and this is the results. So from first glance, you can't even tell there's an electronic sunshade because it's so close to the glass. You only lose about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch head space where the sunshade closes. There's no sagging, and also the motor is a lot quieter than the previous version. You also have nicer switch and faster motor, in addition to less reduction of space taken up with this electronic sunshade. It also insulates better, reducing IR and UV protection. And now we're just finalizing the installation with this black trim that you use to cover up those screws and the silver lining. And that is it. So you have switches in the front for the front seats, passenger and driver, and you have switches in the rear for the rear passenger to be able to control the electronic sunshade. And you can stop this halfway, or you can automatically have it fully open or fully close. It also has anti-pinch, so it won't crush your hands, or you have children and they try to close it, it won't break their fingers. So you can see there is about 1/2 inch to a 3/4 inch of head space that is lost, but that's very little compared to a mesh that sag 3 to 4 inches in the middle. And this is how it looks like in the rear. Again, you have switches in the rear, and these are new switches. The color matches those of the switch inside the Tesla Model Y itself. So it blends in with the vehicle. It gives you that OEM look. And again, you can automatically open it fully or close it fully, or have it partially open, partially closed. And here's the anti-pitch. Once it hits an object, it automatically retracts. So if you're interested in this product, details is in the description of this video. And right now, there's a huge promotion for it. Take advantage. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Catch you on next time.